Finally, today we get into one of the most long-awaited videos for the channel, one of the most requested reviews for some of the best jeans ever made in fashion history. I wholeheartedly credit the brand Naked and Famous ever since it began in 2008 with the popularization of raw selvage denim in the 2010s, when it started to become super widespread amongst North America as well as Europe. I mean, Naked and Famous has completely changed the scope of how we look at raw selvage denim, and without them, I do not believe that the raw selvage denim community would be as big as it is today. And I also just don't believe that the advancements that we have made in raw selvage denim would exist without the influence of Naked and Famous. Naked and Famous has done so much for not just raw selvage denim goods, but for the idea of heritage style, for the idea of workwear, and that is why I appreciate them so much. They are great friends of the channel. They help support the channel. They always have, even when I was super small. I mean, I still am a small creator, but Naked and Famous has constantly been one of those brands that supports the channel, so I love them forever. And this is one of those videos that was super long overdue. Today we finally get a deeper look into the Naked and Famous Made in Japan line. Now, I have reviewed Naked and Famous jeans on this channel before, but I never got my hands on their MIJ line. But today I was finally able to get my hands on the MIJ16th collection by Naked and Famous, and these are the Genseki raw selvage denim jeans in the True Guy fit from Naked and Famous, this is also going to be my first time trying those out. But this was one of the most hyped up releases by Naked and Famous ever, and so much so that we both agreed that I didn't want to take a pair away from somebody else. So these are actually a production sample that are akin to the jeans that were released, but these weren't going to be sold to the public because of quality control from Naked and Famous. They didn't want to sell a sample size jean, so I decided to take it. So going right into the Naked and Famous MIJ16 Genseki raw selvage denim in the True Guy fit. First things first, I mean, the texture, of course. I mean, that's why we all loved these jeans. They're so incredible in texture. They're beautiful in their vibrancy. It is a super dark, super deep, pitchy indigo, but because of the tempeh one wash that these jeans have undergone, not only is all of the shrinkage gone, because these are an unsanforized fabric, but we will get into that a little later. Not only is the shrinkage gone, but you do have this gorgeous gradation in blues, unlike anything you would see in other raw selvage denim. I mean, I have to admit that most raw denim jeans these days are given a one wash treatment, but these, I mean, dude, because of how super slubby and neppy these jeans are and how texturized the fabric is, you get just those deep dark blues mixed in with a little bit of those like robin's egg lighter blues. I mean, dude, this is one of the craziest washes on jeans that I've ever seen. Now, this fabric is something of a wonder in and of itself, because I can't even imagine how labor intensive and strenuous it is to not only work with and sew this fabric, but to just make it itself. It is a super low tension woven denim with a very slubby cotton yarn, and it also is woven with a very neppy texture to it. And not just that, not only are they super low tension, slubby, but they're also a 19-ounce denim. Like, that's insane. It's probably right now the heaviest raw selvage denim jeans that I have in my rotation. And of course, I mean, everyone who's familiar with Naked and Famous knows that they love them some heavyweight raw denim. This just speaks to the ethos of Naked and Famous. So the name Genseki, which has been given to these jeans, actually translates to raw ore, and essentially raw ore has this kind of super texturized, unrefined surface, and that is exactly why Naked and Famous decided to name these jeans the Genseki raw ore selvage denim jeans. I mean, it's got that real streaky, neppy, slubby surface, and I think that that's complemented beautifully by the two-tone stitching that these jeans have. So you will see that on a lot of made in Japan jeans, and unlike the main line of Naked and Famous, which is made in Canada, the MIJ is of course made in Japan. So these have that real Japanese feel. And of course, a lot of Japanese raw selvage denim makers, they manufacture their jeans with two different types of threads. So you have this kind of like copper, kind of almost coffee-ish kind of thread that is contrasted by almost like a lemon or like a banana kind of thread. And it just brings a little bit of depth to the jean. It's not something that anyone is ever going to notice, but it is something that, you know, people subconsciously will recognize and say, wow, I mean, this is a really really nice pair of jeans. It just gives that depth. It gives character. And I also think that that brown coffee-ish kind of thread complements these copper rivets that we have here. And what's cool about these when you have actual copper rivets on jeans is that over time they're going to oxidize and they're going to develop their own interesting color, which is something that I really love because the hardware is going to age with the jean as well. So of course you have that on the front pockets, and of course you have that on the coin pocket. Now the coin pocket is really cool because on the Made in Japan line from Naked and Famous, they have what's called a peekaboo selvage, which you get a little bit of Selvedge ID on the edge of the pocket, as you see here. And of course the pocket itself is riveted, but on the inside of the pocket you also get a little bit of that poke, a little bit of that Selvedge ID facing on the inside, which, I mean, you know, of course is always a nice detail. I love that. And again, that's a very Japanese kind of thing. For those who haven't had Japanese made raw Selvedge denim before, that's like the quintessential standard when it comes to made in Japan raw Selvedge denim. So this definitely has that Japanese feel. What's also interesting about these jeans is that the button fly, you have these iron rivets. Now these iron rivets, Garrett over at Naked and Famous told me that these are going to rust over time and provide, again, that depth. They're going to scratch up. They're going to give you a really interesting aged look over time with the rest of the jeans. So you could kind of see that common theme here, that Naked and Famous makes these jeans with longevity in mind, with durability in mind, with what are these jeans going to look like 5 years from now in mind. And that's something that I really love and appreciate about the ethos of Naked and Famous. Now, of course, the belt loops are roped. And what does that mean? So essentially, there's a piece of fabric on the inside, or not even fabric, it's more like fibers. There's a piece of fibers on the inside of the belt loops. It's actually really interesting to see how they do it, but they stick it on the inside of the belt loops. And what that does is it raises the belt loop up, and during wash, during wear, you start to see that fade very quickly, and it just gives, again, that depth, that character, that real light blue, that high contrast that we're looking for when we're wearing our jeans. And that's something that I absolutely love. So going on to the inside of the jeans, you will see that the waistband is attached by a chain stitch on the bottom of the waistband. There's a single stitch on the top of the waistband, but that chain stitch that's attached to the waistband and the top block of the jean actually is really nice because it gives a little bit of that stretch. I mean, it's not like a lasting bubblegum stretch, but you know, chain stitches, they do, because of their nature, stretch out a little bit, which is good, especially for a pair of jeans like this where it's 19 ounces. I mean, dude, 19 ounces is pretty heavy. So I actually sized up. I usually wear a 31, but we went with a 32 for this size. And I'm so happy that they had the sample in my size, because on heavier weight jeans, usually you kind of want to think about sizing up a little bit. So yeah, that's really cool to see. And then on the inside, of course, you see the beautiful weft, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but you see that there's flat felled seams that are used to attach the yoke piece as well as the back seam. And you'll also notice that these jeans have back pocket rivets. Now, these are also those copper rivets that are going to fade down over time, or rather oxidize over time, which is going to be really cool. And that's also going to provide a lot of fading and depth around the corners of the pockets on the back pockets as well, because of that tension, because of that stress point. It's going to be really cool. And then you'll also notice on the inside you have the woven label. So the woven label in here actually in katakana says Naked Famous Denim, which is really cool. I love that. I mean, it's just a nod back to Japanese heritage and denim culture. And of course, you're gonna see that mirrored on the back, which is actually a goat skin leather patch, which is so cool. And the logo itself, not only does it say Naked Famous, but it also has what they call the Flower of Carnage logo, which is so cool. I mean, dude, even the pocket flasher was just so insane for these jeans. I loved it. And I think they also have some stickers with this logo on it as well, which is insane. I love Naked and Famous stickers. For those who don't know, Naked and Famous makes the best stickers, dude. But yeah, moving on to the back, you will see that they have the Canadian maple leaf embroidered in red on the right side of the jeans, right where the pocket meets the leg. And that's so cool, dude, because the red really just pops on these jeans. And it's gonna be one of those things that just provides that depth. And it's also one of those things where it's like, if you know, you know. know type of thing. So amongst denim heads, I mean, you're not gonna miss this, dude. And everyone who knows Naked and Famous is gonna know this Canadian red maple leaf. So I love that. Otherwise though, the back is just super clean. It's super traditional. I mean, the yoke piece is beautifully done. And one thing I really want to point out, which is really interesting, is that these jeans are actually made with a flat felled inseam. Flat felled seam, number one, it's more expensive to do. Number two, it takes a little bit more finesse and a little bit more time to do. And number three, especially with the heavyweight fabric like this, it's very difficult to accomplish. But I mean, dude, they did it. Naked and Famous, they'll do literally anything that they can that the factories will allow them to do, which is so cool. And this is basically the strongest seam that I know of that you can get for a pair of jeans like this on the inseam. Now, of course, moving on to the hem, you have one of the most beautiful chain stitches that I have ever seen. And the reason why that's important for those who don't know is that this chain stitch over time is going to give a specific sort of tension, a specific sort of stress that's going to provide some diagonal fade lines on the hem, which is called roping. I mean, you could kind of already see it a little bit, but it only gets more and more pronounced over time. And that's just one of the most alluring things to me when it comes to raw Selvedge denim. And not only that, but this chain stitch is also complemented by the micro busted Selvedge ID. Now, this is a term that I was actually taught by Garrett, again, over at Naked and Famous, who is a near and dear friend to the channel. He taught me that the term micro busted just means that the Selvedge ID is a little bit smaller than most standard jeans. Now, I actually like this a lot because the Selvedge ID has just a simple red line selvage with no white. It's just the raw indigo that is complemented by that red. And I think that that red stripe just really pops on this micro bust. I think if it was made any bigger, the red would kind of just get lost. Plus, you know, with the True Guy fit, so it's something that I am trying out for the first time. It's a little slimmer than what I usually wear. It's like more of like a true straight. You don't want something that is super duper wide on slimmer fits because then the Selvedge ID looks a little too big. So yeah, I think this Selvedge ID micro bust is just perfect for this type of jean. And it also allows this gorgeous, incredible earthy tone beigeish weft that has like these brown, khaki, yet still silvery kind of grayish kind of tones, that grayish kind of cast over it that really alters the presence of these jeans. I mean, this is unmistakable luxury. The Naked and Famous Made in Japan line, specifically the 16th collection, is to me just unmistakable luxury denim at its absolute finest. And I mean, dude, I'm pretty sure these are unfortunately sold out right now. I don't know if they're gonna restock them. I don't know the inner workings of Naked and Famous like that. I'm just a guy, just a fan. But I would definitely stay up on the Naked and Famous Made in Japan line, especially for the next collection. They also have jackets in these actually, and some other fits. Maybe it's not sold out in other fits. I would check that out. But either way, I would sign up for Naked and Famous's newsletter and stay up on what's going on with their Made in Japan collection because, dude, these sell out really quickly. I mean, there's an obvious reason why. But even if you missed out on the Genseki jeans, their Made in Japan line consistently just breaks the mold of raw Selvedge denim. So just stay up on the Naked and Famous Made in Japan line. They're always doing something wild like this. And check out their weekly live streams that they have every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Literally, it's the best place that you could go to ask questions, ask about releases. Shout out to Naked and Famous. Oh, I love you guys forever. And I can't wait to continue doing more reviews on some of the Made in Japan or even the mainline Naked and Famous stuff. Thank you guys again for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Big shout out to Garrett. Big shout out to Brandon for facilitating this. I mean, this is something that I've wanted to do for so long, dude. I mean, I was literally a fan of Naked and Famous while I was in high school, dude. And I couldn't afford a pair of their jeans back then, but this is just like a literal full circle moment for me, and I couldn't be more proud. But anyways, closing out the video, with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.